Hi, everybody. Welcome to A Step Ahead. Today we have Sue. She is one of our senior account managers and team lead. And we also have Miguel with us. He is one of the product owners for mobile, and he will be working on the new designs and the new introduction of our housekeeping and maintenance app as we add new features. So today we're going to talk about inspections. We'll be talking a little bit about these the new COVID guidelines for cleaning, talk about things that you may do. There is a checklist that was provided by Resort Cleaning. We'll take a look at that, and let's get started. With everything that's going on right now, we've had a couple companies have put out some guidelines. I know if you go to VRMA, they have their kind of their guidelines to go through. They have a little disclaimer. If something happens, they're not responsible for it, which I can understand that. And then it just goes into what you should be doing, what they recommend that you do as part of keeping a clean environment. Now, this right here, I don't know if you're able to utilize this logo. If you could, this would be ideal because it's kind of a nice logo to say that your homes are safe, right? Right now, people are kind of scared. So I don't know if you can use it. Hopefully I can find out, and then I'll update the video and just let you know. I'll put a little box here, say this is good to use, and I'll reach out to them. All right, so before we start getting into the system, the Resort Cleaning put together a little layout, which we think we actually went through this and we like it. It's laid out very well. And this is something that we want to, we're going to try to bring this into the system so that I think ideally what you want to do is get this into your guests' hands so that you can you give them a feeling of reassurance. It talks about all the housekeeping processes that you should follow, and then it starts to tell you what you should do as you're going through the different areas. But I would also reference the VRMA document that I showed you because they go into detail. Now, this is an interesting part here because we're going to be asking two different people. So, Sue, when you go on your next vacation, how much attention are you going to be paying to the COVID cleanliness of the unit?
I'll be paying a lot of attention.
You will.
Yeah, I'm I'm of the age group that is
Oh,
getting hit.
oh, we don't say that on video.
Well, that's
This
okay.
is
I'm
no,
okay with
no.
it. No, I just think it's important. I think we don't know who has COVID. I think we don't know what the ramifications are. I don't like what medically.
I am at a rental right now, trying to support the rental industry,
Mhm.
and I asked them to do an ozone clean, which takes all the oxygen out,
Yeah.
and it basically they say it's the best way to actually do a clean, but then you'd have to buy an ozone machine, and I don't think anybody really knows what it means because I told people and they don't really even know what it means. So the reason I'm asking you is because what I've always wanted to do, and I wish people would do this more, is have a pre-check-in inspection sheet that is built around COVID, so that when you make your reservation, you're able to tell people we follow COVID cleaning standards, and before you come to your stay, we will tell you. I don't know if you want to tell them how long since somebody has been there because they want to probably wait 2 weeks before they go in. But I know that some states are requiring a certain amount of time in between reservations. And also, at least by telling you, hey, you're going to be getting a pre-inspection sheet, and then you go over all these different things and you touch on the points that are being brought up on the VRMA site.
Yeah, my only thought with that from a property manager's point of view might be that disclaimer needs to be pretty strong that
You mean for them to put the disclaimer on
Yeah,
there?
most definitely. You can tell me you cleaned it, but if I end up coming down with it and I think it's you, then
So at the very bottom, you
yeah,
just put, "We are not responsible for anything that you just saw."
yeah,
That
exactly.
that's
I
okay.
mean, that's my first thought from the property manager's point of
No,
view.
I understand. So Miguel, you're a different traveler. I don't think you're not in the same. Well, you may think they're in this. You may think you're in the same risk group as her, but you're not. What do you what would you be looking for? Would you be going through this and saying, I want to make sure that they did this, and that does it give you a better feeling, or do you even care?
I'm not really sure. It's all just like it's all like a peace of mind. So even if, it's stated that the place has been cleaned or sanitized, I'm more than likely going to clean it myself as well. So I'm not going to be touching anything without wiping it down first. And
So
I've also,
you're bringing your cleaning set with you.
yeah, I'm bringing my own ammo. I'm not.
See, Sue, you need to bring your own
Yeah,
materials with you. He doesn't even trust the cleaners.
I
So
would say true. We
okay,
have only done takeout once or twice, and I go with a disinfectant
so
wipe in my
so
hand to open it.
obviously getting the message out that you either follow standards or making it very clear of what you do to disinfect the property. You can tell that it's very important to people.
Yes.
I mean, I had them do an ozone clean, so obviously it was important to me as well.
Did they push back on that, or did they have the equipment, or
They had the machine. They ran it for 2 days,
were they surprised
and
at that request?
I'm sorry.
Were they surprised at that request?
They didn't even say anything. I think
Okay.
I asked if they had an ozone machine, and then I said, can you please run it? And they say, yeah, we'll run it for 2 days. I don't know what the cost of an ozone machine is. I'm assuming it's not cheap, but if you are going to use an ozone machine, you probably want to have a good explanation as to what it does. I
Yeah.
guess it sucks all the oxygen out, and then it kills anything that's there.
Yeah.
So, or you can travel with your ozone machine if you want. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I did not expect you guys to be coming from this industry. I did not expect you guys to be so concerned and scared. So I imagine the guest who's not in this industry will probably be even more scared than you guys.
Mhm.
So this changes things.
One of my pet peeves, any place, is looking at light switches, and light switches are always disgusting. Like they don't clean them.
Yeah,
And that's the
they're an
thing.
off white.
Yeah, they're like off
Yeah,
white with people's
they're supposed to
fingerprints
be
on
white,
them.
but they're off white.
Yeah, and
Okay. So you want to
so
set standards for the property management company in general so that they clean
honestly,
switches.
yes,
Okay.
this is the first time I've
And
seen it this well defined.
Miguel, have you experienced the light switch phenomena?
Yeah. So, I mean, actually, for guests that I've been checking in right now, I've actually just been leaving them a package of Clorox wipes at the front door. And
Oh
then
wow.
they can just wipe down whatever they need to wipe down. So
I
I
mean,
tend to leave.
I would be insulted. I take it personally, but
I would
no,
love
that's a good
that's a
idea.
great
So
idea.
Yeah.
you're leaving it outside versus inside. Is there a
No, I
kind of
leave
a
it.
message?
I leave it, and I wipe everything down before I leave it there, and that's where I put toiletries and paper towels, toilet paper. Right now, I've actually had to communicate with our guests, letting them know that toilet paper is short around here, so if they could probably bring some, or we can provide some, but
Oof. You're gonna have
And
to
goodness, the only
you're gonna
extra
have to get some toilet paper, sir. You
that's why
can't
we
tell
leave.
your guest
That's why we leave.
to get toilet paper. They can use the Clorox wipes.
Well,
Exactly.
it's
Great.
not
I'm
uncommon.
not staying with his property management company.
It is not uncommon just to leave 2 rolls per bathroom in a rental
Yeah.
unit.
Yeah,
They need
that's
They
extra.
have
actually.
a stack here. Maybe I can see if I can bring you some for
That's
your next guest.
true.
But on a more serious note, I have to tell you, I'm actually pretty shocked. I did not think it's a little bit shocking. But what that tells you is you're going to probably want to have a document like this, I think, for your company that goes out when a reservation's made. And I think you should have this on your website, front center. COVID cleaning procedures or whatever, so that they click on it and they can download something like this. I mean, this, obviously you guys look at this and it gives you a better feeling, right? That this company kind of knows what they're doing and they have their stuff together. I guess now my thoughts here would be, make sure you get a document like this out at the time of booking, or even when there's a quote. If you're going to send the quote out, I would try to send this. I know with HomeAway you won't be able to get the file URL through, but again, obviously cleaning is very, very important. So with that, let's get into the system, and Sue is going to walk us through setting up some of these inspection questions that you can use to make sure that people make sure people don't panic when they're going to your rental.
So we're going to talk a little bit about setting up inspections. Awesome. And these are going to be done in your housekeeping area here. And it's a variable that's turned on. So if you don't have it, you'll have to let us know. So you're going to have, once you turn on the inspection logic, you're going to get two new areas here: inspection type manager and housekeeping inspection manager questions. And so we'll go to the inspection type first. So you can set up multiple inspection types in your system. And so I created one called the super clean inspection. And if I open it up in here, I can rename it if I want to the COVID, but I thought super clean sounded a little less virus-like. And then you're going to see that there are a number of questions in here. So the first step is creating your inspection type. And then you're going to go back into housekeeping and you're going to start populating it with questions. So we have a real simple way to add questions here. You're going to get a big long list of all your questions. So as you can see, I've kind of classified them. I had an inspection for golf carts. This one is going to be super clean. So these are my super clean inspection questions, which I did up the other day, and you'll see
this looks somewhat COVID ready right here.
I kind of went through my own experience and tried to figure out the things that I might want to know about. Great. And so, you'll see here cabinets and knobs. I was getting to my phobia of light switches.
No, here, this is good.
Came up with some questions, and here I kind of classified them by room so that I could order them properly, because you don't want your inspection report having a question about the bathroom followed by a question about the living room. Just doesn't logically make sense to make your housekeepers go through the inspection form. So I typically name them for the inspection report I want them to go on, and then I name them by the room, and then I put my questions in here, and a lot of them I'm going to want the bathrooms. I'm going to assume they're always disinfecting and cleaning the shower, but they may not be doing the cabinet and the walls on a normal basis. So knobs. So this might be a new question that you're asking them to verify. If you have throw rugs, I want them replaced. I want the bathroom walls wiped down, whatever. Real simple to add a question. Just see it will, if you have the memory thing, and you can put in here and add a question for bathroom 2. And then you have the option to apply to all homes and allow images. So I'm going to click apply all homes. Now, if I were to open this and not click apply to all homes and save it, I'm going to get a new tab where I can select the homes that I want. So
Sue, the way you have these on there, where you have them broken down by bedroom and bathroom, if you apply it to all homes and you have a home that has maybe 1 bathroom, it's going to show you the 1 and the 2 bathroom.
Yep, I will show you how we can further drill this down. So things like allow images, I like to use for maybe if you stage some owners are very specific about how they want a room staged before a guest comes in. You have your questions here. You can use the arrow to go up and down to move them as you need to. The next layer is in the unit itself. So if I go into renting units and go into my home here, you're going to have a tab that's the Set HK Inspection. And when you click that, you're going to have your inspection types that you have allowed for this home. And so we have the super clean inspection allowed. And if this home only has one bathroom, I can check mark these off.
For that clean question, if that question is set to apply to all homes, it should not let you uncheck it here. Because what happens is that when you do that, you would be switching it to define them per home. The reason for that is that the moment you start to allow this, then what do we do when you add a new home? Most people are not going to want to select the inspection questions. So that's why, because otherwise we would have to then switch it from apply to all homes to only apply to everyone except the one that you deleted the question for.
Makes sense.
Right. So then when you add a new one, now we don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So okay. So now since you're here, on this one we click allow images in the questions, and then what happens is that when you're going to the actual unit to set your questions, it allows you to put in a default image. So I think in this case you're talking about possibly staging. You want to show how it needs to be laid out. Maybe you have some owners with OCD and they want different things in specific places. There's the ability for them to take a picture, and then there's the ability for you to set a default picture for that inspection.
Yeah.
So the cleaner or the person who does the inspection, they can take a picture anytime. This does not allow them to do images. This allows you to preload an image.
Yeah.
So let's just say that you want the kitchen laid out a certain way, right? Then one of your inspections would be, check kitchen structure. I don't know what you want to call it, because this person wants their sugar bowl or whatever you want to call it on the left-hand corner. Does that make sense? So that's what this is for. This is for you to put something. I mean, I don't know how, did you ever use this, Sue? We've never used it in Park City, but.
We didn't use it, but I have clients that use it. And a lot of these places have they don't have the same housekeeper doing the same house all the time. And so, it would always surprise me when I had our rental home, when we would come down, where things would be totally rearranged, like different lamps would be on different tables. And I'm like, I don't even know why or who did this, but I'd spend the first hour putting things back. So from a property manager's point of view, yeah, it'd be kind of crazy.
Perfect. All right. So we set up the inspection type, and then that's where you decide if you apply them to all homes or not. Then we created questions. And then we went into the unit and we assigned whatever questions we want. So you can have a super clean for a specific unit with a different question set than another home for a super clean.
Yes.
So it's it's a tough one, right? I guess you won't have as many apply to all homes if you're going to go bedroom by bedroom.
Yeah, and that's why I was setting up multiple bedrooms and multiple bathrooms, and if the home only has 2 bedrooms, they don't have to scroll through bedroom 1.
Perfect. Okay.
The final step, though, is adding it to your cleaning flow. And this becomes an advanced housekeeping setting.
Does everybody have this, Sue?
No, this is again variable enabled, and so we set you up with standard checkout. We set you up with daily clean and check-in clean, but inspections are not included with them. Once you add the inspection,
so you have to turn this logic on in order to use inspections.
Yes. And then typically, we have some pretty good instructions in the knowledge base, but this area can be rather confusing to somebody looking at it because it's got a lot of flows, but you just basically have to think of it as you go step 1 and then you go to step 2, and then you have, what happens if and then you go from step 2 to step 3, you do the inspection. If the inspection fails, where do you go? You have to kind of map it out in your head, and it's hard to describe, but visualizing it is usually easier. So you're going to start always with pending as your first step. When you walk into the door or before the guest leaves, it's pending. Housekeeper comes in and it becomes pending inspection. They've done their clean. And so now it's time for the inspector to come over. And this is a typical flow. From pending inspection, it shoots down to pending inspection here, and here it's either marked clean, it passes. You're going to put an inspection here, the super clean inspection.
So at the beginning, everything basically starts pending, right?
Everything starts pending.
And then you decide where you want it to go from there. In this case, pending means somebody cleaned it. Is that?
Pending means nobody's walked in the door yet.
Okay, so you're saying that what to do next. So then you said, okay, go to pending inspection. I'm going to have an inspection associated with it.
It's in pending. Yes. And here is where you make your selection based on what inspections you've set up. So in a normal world, you were doing a cleaning inspection, but now we have our super clean inspection. So most of our clients who are adding this super clean inspection will need to modify their workflow so that the super clean inspection now replaces the clean inspection, or they have to modify the cleaning inspection by adding the additional questions.
Okay, so if somebody wants to turn this on, they just put in a ticket, and what do they reference to make sure that we know what to turn on for a variable?
I would say you want to utilize the housekeeping inspection to set up
and then it will come default with a basic flow?
It will come default with a basic flow, but there will not be an inspection. It will add this inspection column, or you'll be able to manipulate it. And then it's up to the client to check where they want the inspection done in their flow.
Okay, so this is a good point here, because there's a pretty important discussion going on. So in the past, we have always looked at this as having an event, right? Which is with the action that happens in the unit, right? Which is what you see as the event. And then whatever happens but from that event determines the status of the unit, right? So you're kind of forcing these events to take place. What's happened is most people, they just want to set the status of the unit, and they want to do whatever inspection they want. So in other words, if I'm out at the unit and I'm cleaning the unit and I can't get finished, they want to be able to just select unit status. They're not concerned about events. They just want to know, hey, this unit is pending a clean. And then once the unit is clean, they just want to click, set it to whatever they want. If they're at the place, they don't want to necessarily be controlled, because what this does is this helps define the flow so that everybody's kind of doing the same thing. And this is the direction we were going. I think we probably want to keep this, but what a lot of the larger companies want is they don't know when, because they'll have a bunch of inspections, right? They'll inspect the linens that they were dropped off. They'll inspect all sorts of things. Some of them have like 5 inspections, and they don't necessarily know when one inspector will be there versus the other. So they don't want to have inspections driven by events. Does that make sense?
That makes total sense, and that would be a great enhancement to the system, because right now you can only add 1 inspection per cleaning workflow.
So the good news is we've built it in the system. And the bad news is that we are now building it into the new housekeeping maintenance app,
Okay.
so that you can do it from the app. So you'll be able to do multiple same-day cleans, multiple same-day inspections, trigger inspections, all that fun stuff. But I think this is something that we actually may speed up a little bit, just given kind of the current situation. But we are going to be doing this so that you can set the status to whatever you want and do whatever inspection you want when you're there, and then give you kind of a trace of what's happening. And then the other thing too is you'll be able to do inspections without any association to a housekeeping event. Right now, they're always tied to housekeeping events. So you'll be able to just do inspection whenever you want. Miguel, do you have a flow similar to this? I don't know, did you make it more, did you have more stages, or did you just go with the simple flow?
Yeah, so the default flow, I'm going with the default flow that Sue was recommending, or was saying, that comes with every admin.
Okay. Now, Sue, what have you seen with, I know you've worked with a lot of different property managers. How crazy do you see them getting with this stuff?
Ooh, some people have a lot of different, like pending first inspection, and
wow,
they have, and this is my test system, so I have a lot of things they have in progress. So clearly, I've played with this for other clients, trying to figure out the way to set up these flows. You can rename any of these to anything you want to. So some people are just hung up on calling it different things, or housekeeper always called it a, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so can I change the name of it? And yes, we have the ability to allow you to change the names of these.
Perfect.
All
right.
But it can get crazy as you want it to.
So what's next? Are we going to the app? So what I'm going to do now is I see that Castaway Cottage is pending inspection on the 7th. So I'm going to go into Castaway Cottage, and then you want me to scroll down to the bottom, you said, and click on unit inspection. Okay. So I'm clicking on unit inspection. So now all these questions are going to come up. Great. So these are the questions that you had set up for the home.
The gray highlighted one is the first question at the top. And you'll see that you have the option to add notes or a work order or take a photo.
So if I say it's inspected, I can add a work order, I can take photos. Which one is the one where you had uploaded a staging?
I think it was bathroom 2, wash floor. So.
Oh, there it is. Look at that. I like it.
And,
all right.
cool.
So once you do this, then. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of the app. So once you do that, Sue, where can I find the inspection?
Sure. So you can go into, I can take over the screen and show that. Okay, so you can go over into the unit. And so you did that for Castaway Cottage. So I'm going to go into Castaway Cottage, and in here, the HK inspection reports.
So we're building, how we have a housekeeping cleaning report. So when we're adding, how we have housekeeping cleaning report, we're building out the inspection reports so that you can just view them from there and manage them as its own inspection area. So they'll be there. Okay.
So once it's submitted on the app, it will process into the system.
Okay.
Into the HK inspection area. And when it shows up here, it will show all your questions. And this isn't the one you just did, or maybe.
No, it's not. I didn't hit submit.
And so here you're going to see your responses. You're going to see if there were any images attached to it. And you can view the image that was attached to it.
Okay. And then what does the PDF look like? I saw that there was PDF.
So if you view it and export it to PDF,
okay,
it will show the questions with the pictures here. And then
what, Miguel?
This is where you would want to send it. Like, this is the list that you would want to send to the guest.
So this is and when you export to Excel.
Yeah. The other thing that you can do, there are triggers you can use.
Yeah, but maintenance request is closed or completed.
Control find.
Well, it wouldn't be a maintenance request. It's an inspection.
It's inspection, so you can, housekeeping inspection was complete. Housekeeping inspection include the PDF.
Okay,
And
perfect.
Maintenance. And so
basically when that inspection gets submitted to the system, then it would trigger this.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's just upon that trigger. If you want to send it any other time, you're going to have to download the PDF and attach it as an email.
And do you have to have a tag for the PDF or is it just attached automatically?
It's all I have to do is check that and no tags. You just have to write the email that says find attached. You know, the housekeeping has been done. And
perfect. So Miguel, you're gonna have to figure out how to get this in a text.
Yeah, this might be something you would send, you know, please find attached the inspection report. And
oh, there it is.
Yeah, this is for maintenance, but
yeah, so what we have to do is we'll have to put the inspection report will have to be a variable, and you would put the tag in there for the link to the file, and the file would sit on our server. Right now, it's just sending the actual PDF.
As soon as it's,
Yeah, so if you open the unit, Sue, and if you click on view PDF, and this may already exist, but I doubt it, but I don't know if this is being built on the fly. Is it downloading it to your computer?
It downloads to my computer.
Okay, so what we're gonna need is this built in the system so that we have the link to it. So then on your phone, you can say, you know, your clean has been completed. So this is the part on the PDF. This is what I'm talking about, laying this out similar to resort cleaning, so that people can send this out to guests saying your unit is now ready, and it would have a nice clean layout. I don't know that you would want to show pictures. I think it would be more of a very clean, we did this, we did this, we did this. So on the text, you would get a text that says, we have completed your, I don't know if you want to say COVID inspection, but we have completed your clean inspection. Please click here for details. So, all right.
Yeah. Well, so, you know, it is the full system from the beginning to the end.
This is a lot of stuff
to manage. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, once you get all this stuff in place, it runs by itself. So.
Yeah, clients like it. I particularly like the document that goes out when you click submit for the final clean or to the inspection report. You can send that to your front desk people and, you know, tell them the lamp was broken. And when they greet the guests, they can say, hey, it's ready for you to occupy, but we're bringing over a lamp because it's broken, you know, and
awesome.
So, you know, of course, somebody needs to read the inspection reports on that busy Saturday when they come in. But if they do take a quick glance and say everything's yes, then you've got a good flow.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. That was a lot of information today.
Yes,
but I want to thank you, and that's going to be our program for today. Have a wonderful weekend. And Sue, Miguel, anything you want to say?
No, use it. I think it's a great system and can help streamline your work.
Perfect. Miguel?
Take care.
Awesome. All right. Well, take care and be safe. All right. Bye-bye.
Ciao.